Howdy guys, welcome back to the channel and thanks to all those that are watching. Today I'm going to be bringing you some new, different content and I really do hope I do this car justice. Let's go and have a look.
The suppression, the use of marijuana.
Hi guys, this is myself and the twin engine Vauxhall Corsa. I'm Adam Beard, people know me as Beardy. I'm a self-employed now engineer, fabricator, but interesting fact about this, all through this build I was a window cleaner and started with no engineering experience, no mechanical experience, nothing. So let me tell you about the full journey of the car. I bought the car around 10 years ago as a basic shell, and the reason, some of the reasons why I started this Corsa, people who know me from the past, I had quite a famous Vauxhall Corsa. It was black, wide arch with the V6 in it, and I felt I'd gone the full journey with that car. At the time there was obviously the twin engine Nova, so that kind of got myself a little bit, into that side, and that was some of the reason why, I wanted to get down that route. Bought the car as a 1.6 GSI and an L plate. I bought it for £300 as a basic rolling shell with the engine removed. Then it kind of just went from there on the fact of collecting parts, and getting to the point where starting to build. Put the engine in the front was always going to be the easy one, because 20 years ago, I was doing engine conversions in Corsas, Novas and Astras anyway. So I'd done multiple 2 litre turbo V6 conversions in Corsas. So front was never an issue, it was always going to be the back one which was going to be the hard job. So people ask a lot, why a Vauxhall Corsa? At the time you could buy a Vauxhall Corsa, a Saxo VTR or VTS, or a Ford Fiesta Zetec S. They all came at the time with free insurance. So at the time the Corsa had 2 years free insurance, the rest only had 1. That's what got me into Vauxhalls, that's what got me into the original Corsa, and that's why I pursued from there. Now, the reason why I kind of went down the route of the twin engine was, at the time, as I mentioned, there was the twin engined Nova going around, which was, was powerful, was doing some good times, some good 0 to 60s. And another one was, there was a very large event called 10 of the Best. Now, 10 of the Best had multiple classes, front wheel drive, rear wheel drive and 4-wheel drive. Now, logic was, if I built a twin engine car, which we'll show you in probably another video, I can disconnect each engine and run whether I want to run a rear wheel drive class, a front wheel drive class or an all wheel drive class. And also, which was a massive factor, was the big power cars at this event and in the UK were all Skylines. They were financially out of reach for myself at the time. With me being a window cleaner, finances weren't the best, so I had to work with what money I had and what I could do. Hence, Vauxhall Corsa, 2 engines because I've done them previously, and that's where it kind of went from there. Obviously, going on from there, with finances being very tight at the time, I couldn't afford to pay someone to do the job, and I never had the skills at the time to do the job. But I knew I had this end goal of what I wanted to build and what I wanted to do. So at the time I decided that I was going to re-educate myself and attend night school. Now, I can't stress how good night school is. It's normally 1 night a week, you don't feel it and you learn a new skill. So over the time of starting the build, I went to night school doing CNC machining, I did welding and fabrication, I did paints and body, everything to get to this goal of where I wanted to be. Now, that's obviously now progressed on to being kind of a career for myself, but it shows, I can state that, you know, when I first started the black Corsa, I couldn't change a set of brake pads. I had to pay someone to change them. So over the years, I've built this, I've re-educated and got the skills to do what I need to do. So going into a little bit more depth of the spec of the car. The engines obviously are the C20LETs, steel rods, forged wasn't pistons. We put 1mm oversized valves, full ported and polished cylinder head with custom cams, custom billet inlet manifold with a cast integrated engineering plenum. I fabricated the exhaust manifold, I fabricated the boost pipes, I fabricated the full exhaust system, which is full 3-inch all the way through. Both engines run a PWR charge cooler setup. It's running 1000cc ID injectors. That's the basic specs of the engine. Now going on to the car itself, obviously it's space framed. It's running gas coilovers all around, but it's running the remote canister coilovers. It's running Willwood 4-pots all around with a custom pedal box which I built myself. It's running a custom gear selector, again all built by myself. It's polycarbonate windows, and as you can see the back windows cut out to let some of the heat out of the back engine because it does get very warm in the car itself. Custom fuel cell, air multi-fuel pumps. The list of this car is endless. So where are we going to go with this car and what am I going to show you guys? The way I kind of talk to people about petrol heads are, in my opinion, there's 3 types. There is drivers, and then people don't really want to work on the cars and they just want to drive them. There's collectors who just like the cars, look at them, don't really do nothing with them, but you know, enjoy the experience of the car. And then there's builders, which I feel that's where I come into. I prefer and enjoy building these cars probably more than I do actually driving them. So we're now going to follow the journey of where we go with the car. Ironically, the sole reason for building the car was to do an event called 10 the Best, and I've never, till this day, got there with the car. So we're hoping, fingers crossed, we're going to get there and enter that event. We're hoping to do multiple events, you know, top speed runs, quarter-mile days, and then we're going to give you a tour of what it's actually like to drive on the road, because ironically the car is fully road legal, it's allowed to go on the road, so we're going to see, you know, what it's like to drive, what it's like to live with. Is it as bad as, you know, you would actually think? Is it noisy in there? So there's a lot coming up, a lot of building, a lot of fabricating, a lot of other things to see. So the next steps of where we are at the moment is, please follow me on Facebook for one. That's the Twin Engine Corsa. Now if you do follow me on there, you'll realise when we went to the rolling road last time we had problems with the clutch. So our next step will be back at EFI on the rolling road, fingers crossed with the clutch problem sorted, and we can start finishing off and making some good power and going from there. Now please follow us because we do have other projects in the background. We have a K20, K24 smart car we're building. We also have just purchased a Corsa D VXR Racing, which we're going to put the Astra VXR engine in. There's a lot of fabrication work coming up. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you in the future.